Oh, hey, Pa! This is the place to do it. Yeah, there's nothing like taking a little dip in a mineral-rich waters of a hot springs. Hey, travel reporter John Bartell here, and today we are going to dive into the steamy world of geothermal activity. Now, hot springs and geysers, they can be bubbly, they can be hot, and they can be a bit stinky, but I've seen many on my travels, and I want to show you some of my favorite hot springs in the area. And today, we're going to start things off at Benton Hot Springs in the Eastern Sierra. As the snow melts on the White Mountains, it seeps into the earth, and a portion of that mineral-rich water is heated by lava and geothermal activity below. Eventually, that heated mineral water makes its way to Benton Hot Springs in Mono County for visitors like Janelle Younger to enjoy.
We have traveled to so many hot springs all over California, all over the western states, and Benton Hot Springs, it was always a dream to get up here.
It's a dream for many reasons. Panoramic mountain views, the secluded soaking pools, and, of course, the water.
I mean, a lot of people would, they ask me how old I am all the time, and, I explain I'm going on 95.
The water at Benton Hot Springs is clean. It's the perfect temperature, and it's the reason that owner Bill Bramlett has been living here for so long.
Are you really going on 95?
No.
Okay. Good. All right. I was good. You had me going there.
Benton Hot Springs may not be the fountain of youth, but it has provided a pretty good living for Bill's family ever since his race car driving grandfather bought the place in 1928.
Raced from Los Angeles to San Francisco. He raced a locomotive to help promote the automobile.
Bill's great-grandfather bought Benton Hot Springs before the Los Angeles Department of Water could turn it into a part of the LA Aqueduct. The family operated a store, a gas station, a hotel, and a bar, which is full of these decorative Jim Beam bottles.
People would collect them, and then at the same time, you would use the Jim Beam out of them.
The town of Benton used to be an old silver mine, and when the Bramlett family bought the place, they preserved many of the old buildings, like the historic hotel, which was frequented by many movie stars.
For anybody who likes old westerns, they'll know who Ben Johnson is.
The historic hotel is now a museum, but across the street, Bill's wife Diane renovated some of the other rooms. Each one has its own theme, and it's uniquely decorated.
But it's all period pieces. And so there's a beauty to that. And there's a story behind most of the furniture.
And if the rooms are all booked up, visitors can pitch a tent at one of the 12 campsites and enjoy the property and the water, which, by the way, doesn't have that rotten egg smell like other hot springs.
You won't smell sulfur.
Yeah, it doesn't smell.
No. The sulfur level is at a very low level.
The water may be the main attraction, but preserving and sharing the history of the property is a big part of Benton Hot Springs. And just a warning, the amenities here are rustic and authentic to the time, and that may not be for everyone.
We're not a Ritz-Carlton.
In Calistoga, California, patience pays off. The Old Faithful Geyser takes its sweet time between shows, but when it does finally blow, it's worth the wait. The eruption may take a while, but you'll want to stick around for the finale. You are looking at what we in the photojournalism field call the money shot. An image or recording that's visually pleasing, inspiring, or requires a lot of waiting. And believe me, we waited a long time for this shot. Just ask these people.
For an hour now?
Yeah.
Or so?
Maybe like 2.5 hours.
We were waiting about 2 hours.
This is the Old Faithful Geyser in Calistoga, one of just 3 Old Faithful geysers in the world, according to property manager Karai Sunli.
This one, the one in Yellowstone, of course, and the third one is in New Zealand.
To form a geyser, you need volcanic activity below the groundwater, and here in Calistoga, it's sitting right next to what's left of Mount St. Helena, a volcano that blew more than 3 million years ago.
So we got magma down here heating the water.
Exactly.
And then once it gets hot, it goes.
And then it starts boiling.
So the more groundwater that hits the volcanic magma, the more frequent the Calistoga geyser blows. Now, it usually happens every 15 to 30 minutes, but I visited during a drought year, making the geyser a little less faithful. What's happened so far?
Nothing.
Nothing. Good news for visitors, there's plenty of activities to do while they wait for the geyser.
So this is our little animal farm, our friends.
Amenities at the Old Faithful Geyser include a small petting zoo, a picnic area, and a bocce ball court. Oh, and this thing, a 1930s steam well. What's a steam well, you ask?
They would just use the steam to boil eggs and also cook pigs here.
They cook pigs?
Exactly.
The steam well was sealed up by Olga Kolbeck shortly after she bought the place in the 1970s. Locals called her the Geyser Lady, partly because she claimed the Old Faithful Geyser could predict earthquakes.
And as the geyser stops erupting for more than 2 or 3 hours, period, that is the indication of an upcoming earthquake.
Is it predicted one?
It has predicted several of them.
Olga kept careful records of the geyser's activity before and after earthquakes, and her research was eventually published. Then, a seismograph was installed on the property. Luckily for us, an earthquake didn't hit after our delayed geyser blew, but we did get to experience what the sulfur-filled geyser water smells like.
Rotten eggs.
Rotten
Goose eggs.
Tucked away in the Paso Robles hills is Franklin Hot Springs, a no-frills soak where mineral waters attract all kinds of characters. Oh, and make sure you ask about their do-it-yourself spa-style mud bath. Well, you don't have to worry about breaking the bank when visiting this mineral spa. A day pass at Franklin Hot Springs is less than a pair of swim trunks, which are required here. And by the way, if you forget your trunks, there's a box of loaner swimsuits that may or may not fit you.
I've come here like for the last 10 years, 3 days a week.
78-year-old Nancy Reinstein says she loves the water because the healing minerals keep her arthritis at bay.
I swim 100 lanes, 3 days a week.
The water's not the only thing with minerals.
All right. You put some on your face.
Hot Springs Bruce, as he's known around here, says the minerals in the water settle in the mud and make for a great exfoliating facial.
And you just want to rub it in.
It's good for your hair, too.
It's good for your hair.
This is really warm under here. Franklin Hot Springs has been a family-friendly, family-owned mineral spa for more than 3 generations now. Owner Norm Franklin says in the 1960s, his father Wesley Franklin contracted a crew to look for oil on the property, but instead found hot water.
Underground aquifer, it's about 300 degrees down here, 190 degrees. It goes up through the upper water table and cools to 100 degrees.
Norman says his dad tested the water and it was loaded with all sorts of minerals.
A little bit of sodium, a little bit of fluoride. It's got positive charged ionized gold and lithium in it.
When you're done soaking in the pool, head over to the lake, which is stocked with trout. You can even rent a boat, just not this one. Whether you're going for a swim or enjoying the free barbecue, Franklin Hot Springs is all about providing an affordable experience. Shaped by fire and time, the Hot Creek geological site in the Eastern Sierra is where Earth seems to show off a bit. Steam rises, turquoise pools bubble, and magma deep below the Long Valley caldera reminds you how alive the ground can be. Don't get too close though, the water is deadly. In the shadows of Mammoth Mountain, remnants of an old volcano reveal itself below Hot Creek Gorge in Mono County.
This whole caldera formed about 760,000 years ago. And this water is still forming now.
The steaming turquoise water billowing out of the ground is known as the Hot Creek Geological Site, and according to geologist Noah Randolph Flagg, you don't want to go swimming in this water.
The way to think about this is very close to boiling temperatures, and sometimes is boiling.
A short quarter-mile path will get you to the hot springs, but take note of the signs warning visitors to stay behind the fence. You can feel the heat from here. 14 people have lost their lives since 1968 because they got too close.
Some of this ground that you see across the way is hot, and some of it is also unstable and you could fall in.
The bubbles and steam you see along Hot Creek drainage are created when snowmelt from the Sierra seeps down through cracks in the Earth's crust. And then that water gets superheated by the 430-degree molten magma below.
And the way that I think to think about this is that when you heat up water on the stove, it rises.
As the heated water rises through the cracks in the earth, it picks up minerals like calcium carbonate, which gives the water its bright blue look when the sunlight hits it.
There is a pungent odor coming from that area over there.
Pungent volcanic gases also make their way up through the cracks in the earth.
Hey, there's fish in there.
The dangerous hot springs and hot creek are separate from each other. Fish and aquatic life can survive here because when the hot spring and the creek mix, it becomes lukewarm bathwater. Hey, you're watching Bartell's Backroads, and we're taking a look at some of my favorite geysers and hot springs. And deep within the Mount Hood National Forest is Bagby Hot Springs. Now, this is a one-of-a-kind hot springs where the tubs are carved out of giant cedar logs, and the views are absolutely stunning. But to get there, you are gonna have to hike a little bit. It's not a secret that this place exists. In fact, the geothermal water, the evergreen forest, and the utter seclusion has attracted people here for generations. But for anyone who wants to visit Bagby Hot Springs, it's gonna require a long walk through Mount Hood National Forest in Oregon.
This place is amazing. In my opinion, best water there is.
A mile and a half in and a mile and a half out. Caretaker Mona Pearson hikes across creeks and under old-growth Douglas fir trees several times a day to watch over the historic soaking tubs.
So this here is where all the hot water comes from for this bathhouse.
The aging cedar bathhouse is among many unique hot springs in Oregon. Wood flumes deliver 130-plus degree mineral water into a mix of primitive and modern plumbing that fills a series of barrel-shaped soaking tubs.
And so it comes out nice and hot. And then over here, we ran our cold water, which flows continuously throughout the year. And that comes from a source 1,000 yards up the mountain.
People come up here for all sorts of reasons.
It's the nature, right? I mean, you got sunshine coming through, the steam coming off the tub. It's beautiful, right? I mean, I came here when I was their age, even younger, like 6.
While some soak for the nostalgia and beauty, others come to contemplate the demons in life.
It helps clear my mind, put my mind at ease. I get to just relax, enjoy the moment.
When prospector Robert Bagby discovered the hot springs in 1881, he most likely took in the waters in a more primitive fashion. The cabins and the bathhouse would come much later, after the U.S. Forest Service claimed the land in the early 1900s.
The original tubs were carved out cedar logs. One of them was huge. One of them could hold like 6 or 7 people in it. It was huge.
Larry Miller is one of the managers of Bagby Preservation. He says in the early days, the Forest Service built a ranger station and several amenities to attract visitors. It took time, but eventually the word of the relaxing bathhouses got out.
And then about the mid-70s, the popularity really started picking up.
Like what happens to many popular public places, Bagby was loved to death. Overcrowding, maintenance on the buildings, and a forest fire became too much for the short-staffed Forest Service to handle.
And then the Friends of Bagby started getting formed, and then it entered the modern-day history of Bagby.
Larry says when the Forest Service talked about closing the hot springs, the Friends of Bagby was formed, a group of volunteers that renovated and managed the property for several years until it was passed on to concessionary groups that continue to keep it open today.
1974, I'd just gotten out of the military, and some friends and me, we all went up there, and that summer shaped the rest of my entire life as far as family, friends, everything.
It's no secret that Bagby Hot Springs is a popular place to visit, but what's unknown is how you'll feel after soaking in the secluded tubs. Perched atop a hill just outside of Bridgeport, California, is Travertine Hot Springs. The geological wonder is a backroads gem with Sierra views so good that it was loved to death. Soak with respect here, because this place is more than an Instagram backdrop. It's a sacred tribal landmark.
one of the overseers of creation. His name was Isha. And Isha is the one that kind of established the way it is here today. And he left it for the people.
This is Paiute territory, but modern maps call it the Mono Basin. That was after European settlers pushed these people off their hunting grounds, their acorn groves, their fishing holes, and this place, where the water flows hot.
It's always been a very sacred place to the people throughout the years, because when Isha made this, he made it hot water on purpose. We got cold water everywhere, and many people lived in this area here. There was even many burial grounds that were nearby.
Today, this sacred spot is known as Travertine Hot Springs, but there's nothing sacred about it. It's managed by the Bureau of Land Management, and often it's treated like a bathtub by tourists.
They leave underwear laying around. They leave toilet paper blowing around in the bushes.
Travertine has gained a lot of attention from travel magazines in recent years, but this picturesque spot was desecrated by non-Native Americans many years before it became an Instagram hotspot.
This area here actually has a history of a big mine.
This is David Risley, geologist with the U.S. Forest Service in Bridgeport. He says the reason we call it Travertine Hot Springs today is because of the minerals that boil out of the ground.
Travertine is a type of limestone. That's a calcium carbonate.
Around 60 tons of travertine was mined here in the mid-1890s. It was used for construction in high-end buildings, like San Francisco's City Hall.
This particular material, being very rare, was used mainly as a facing indoors.
Decorative.
Decorative, exactly.
Currently, there's no mining at Travertine Hot Springs. The Bureau of Land Management has set it aside as a critical area of environmental concern, but that concern doesn't protect this sacred land from people who don't see it as sacred.
No one seems to see it that way anymore. The native people do, but we've been so far removed from the picture that nobody seems to really care.
This land is here for everyone, and it should be seen and visited by everyone. But this land, like any land, should be respected.
And this ground, what's underneath us and what's all around us, it's like a certain point of spirituality that one comes here to be a part of.
At the northeastern edge of California is Surprise Valley Hot Springs. It's a hidden jewel in the high deserts of Cedarville, and it's framed by the Warner Mountains and endless skies. Here, every room boasts its own private soaking tub fed by pure mineral waters. When pioneers traveling the Applegate Trail made it through the Black Rock Desert in Nevada, there was a surprise waiting for them in what is now known as Cedarville, California. That surprise was water. It was everywhere, but it wasn't exactly something you could lead your livestock to.
We got, what is this, a boiling pit of despair here, or what?
Yes, a boiling cauldron of geothermal mineral water, one of the many that are out here on the valley floor.
This is Surprise Valley Hot Springs in Cedarville, the hottest place in Modoc County.
But it will kill you. Yeah, you don't want to, this is like Yellowstone, you don't want to fall in there.
The water here is being heated by underground geothermal volcanically heated rocks. Luckily for visitors though, they don't have to dip their toes or drink from this scalding hot mineral water. Instead, they can ease into it in their own personally temperature-controlled hotel room soaking tub.
So yeah, the geothermal mineral water, before it gets piped into the hot tubs, it's going through the concrete slab, so we use that for snow melt.
Unlike many public hot springs, you won't find any nudists wallowing around in the mineral water. Here at Surprise Valley Hot Springs, privacy is a big deal.
Made everything private because we just kind of like our privacy.
In each one of the 19 rooms, there's a private soaking tub, private kitchen, and private living area that's uniquely decorated.
Okay, so this is Grandpa Rose. This was shot in Vallejo, and actually that was his car. And then the shaps that are in the picture are the ones on the wall.
Surprise Valley Hot Springs has been in the family for 4 generations now. Curtis's great-grandfather, E.E. Rose, built the resort back in 1953.
It was kind of a build it and hope they show up.
People did show up, and they showed up because of the geothermal water. There's about 38 minerals in this water, which is great for your health, but there's a bit of a mystery about how those minerals got in the water.
This is ancient water. That water right there hasn't seen the light of day in I don't know how long.
The even bigger mystery is where the underground water came from.
My understanding is we haven't been able to fingerprint this water yet.
Mystery water.
Mystery water. We don't know where it's coming from.
The geothermal water may be a mystery, but it's also a gift to the town of Cedarville, especially in the winter.
So the hospital's heated with geothermal, the school's heated with geothermal.
Water is just one reason the pioneers on the Applegate Trail called this the Surprise Valley. The other, it's surprisingly beautiful out here, especially if you're sitting on the banks of a heated lake. Hey, welcome back. John Bartell here, and we're checking out some of my favorite geysers and hot springs. And this next geological site is one the whole family can enjoy. Grover Hot Springs State Park is located in Alpine County on the former Grover Ranch. And if you're lucky, you might just meet the descendants. The Washoe tribe was the first to discover this area. For a long time, it was their secret. The scalding hot waters of Grover Hot Springs remained hidden below the Jeffrey pine trees and the stark mountains of Alpine County. But then explorer John Fremont and Kit Carson came along.
They pretty much, around 1844, they got stuck in bad weather in the Sierra Nevada, as a lot of people did back in the day. And, the Washoe people helped them out here.
This is what Grover Hot Springs looks like now. The secret is obviously out. Grover Hot Springs is now a state park just outside of Markleeville, California. But if you ask park interpreter Hillary Collier, this hot springs hasn't lost all of its secrecy.
So when people say, Markleeville, where is that? I usually tell them it's, the Greater Tahoe area.
6 different hot springs percolate out of what now is called Hot Spring Valley. It's a beautiful area with cascading creeks, scenic hiking trails, and stunning mountain views. The valley was discovered and rediscovered by many settlers, but there's one family that really made this place famous.
Yeah, the Grover family, their descendants are still in this area, and they do visit the park regularly.
I think it was right up over there.
By pure luck and some divine happenstance, I ran into the Grover family, who had just located the grave of their great-great-grandfather, Alvin Merrill Grover.
So he was born in 1892 back in West Gardner, Maine. Wait a minute, this can't be right. Died 1892.
Alvin Grover ended up at the hot springs in the 1860s during the Silver Rush. At the time, he was just 14 years old.
Came up with the idea, look, there's all these migration going on just down the valley. Let's go down with our wagons and ferry people up here to go to the hot springs.
Alvin Grover eventually bought the hot springs, and later he built a motel in Markleeville, which is still standing today.
2 families when he got here. Within a couple years, there was like 2,700 people living in this area. So it got to be known as the Grover Hot Springs, because Alvin was the guy that really promoted it and everything.
Grover Hot Springs may not be a secret, but that doesn't mean the secret has to spread. So if you're watching this, don't tell anyone. In the remote reaches of Fresno County's Panoche Valley is Mercey Hot Springs, an eco-friendly retreat where rustic cabins, soaking tubs, and artful silence gives you a break from reality. At first glance, the Panoche Hills in Fresno County look pretty bare. Dry grass and dirt dominate the arid low-lying mountain range. But if you follow the sounds of chirping birds, they'll lead you to paradise.
We're an oasis. Critters of all kinds come here.
This is Mercey Hot Springs, a historic mineral bath, and some of the more common critters that owner Larry Ronenberg is talking about are his guests.
It's kind of the water you can soak in for hours and hours.
Coming out of the faucet at a balmy 121 degrees, guests like Stephanie Wilson control the temperature by adding colder water. But it's not the temperature that's most enjoyable, it's actually the minerals.
You can definitely tell there's minerals in it. I can't, maybe a little sulfur or definitely some salt.
According to a water analysis, there's a long list of healthy minerals, and it's those minerals that have been attracting people here for over a century.
The road here was originally a stagecoach route.
Mercey Hot Springs was originally a sacred spot for the local Yokut tribe until a sheep herder named John and Mercey discovered it.
Later on in the late 1890s, he sold the property to a guy by the name of Frederick Bourne, who was a real estate developer out of San Francisco.
Frederick Bourne really liked the name Mercey, but the only way he could copyright the name is to put an E before the Y. The name appears to be misspelled, but it definitely didn't hurt the water bottling business that he started.
They were selling it as a cure-all elixir, thinking the water was making everybody better.
There's no proof that the mineral-rich water cured anything other than thirst, but tourists love to drink it and bathe in it. The water is so good that some pretty famous people have actually flown into the private airstrip just to experience it.
Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, and others around that era.
The other appealing attribute to the property is its remoteness. You won't find paparazzi out here, nor will you find cell phone signals.
Completely off the grid. So originally it was generator only. Now we're 97% solar and 3% generator.
Larry's a pretty environmentally friendly guy. When he bought the place in the mid-1990s, he completely remodeled it and started adding solar panels, which power everything from the guest cabins to the pumps that bring the water to each one of the hot tubs.
20,000 gallons a day.
That may seem like a waste of water in such an arid place, but the water gets recycled too.
It just goes right back in the ground.
A soak in the tub's not the only amenity you'll find here. If you're looking to spend the weekend, try out the 9 cozy cabins. Before the hotel burned down in the 1930s, they used to house the hot spring staff. If those are all booked up, you can sleep in a deluxe Airstream camper, or just pitch a tent and camp under the stars. Hey, thanks for watching Bartell's Backroads and checking out some of my favorite hot springs with me. I hope it's inspired you to take a little road trip of your own. I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.